Hi, I'm Wendy Gale, and welcome to Dementia's Blurred Lines. I wish I could tell you I had a whole night to recover after that explosion. I wish I could say I slept on it, woke up clear-headed, and calmly figured out what to do next. But that's not how caregiving works. I didn't get a next day, I got a couple of hours. A couple of hours to sit there, still shaking, still hearing my own voice echoing in my head, still feeling the mix of shame, exhaustion, and disbelief. And then I had to get up. I had to reground myself, not because I was okay, but because I didn't have a choice. Caregiving doesn't pause when you break. It doesn't give you time to breathe. It doesn't say, hey, take the afternoon off. You've been through enough. It just waits for you to pull yourself together and keep going. And that afternoon, I had to keep going because I still had surgery coming up. I still had to figure out where my mom was going to go while I was recovering, and I still had to make sure she'd be safe, even though I didn't feel safe around her in that moment. So I sat there, still raw, still vibrating from the rage, and I opened my laptop. I started Googling respite care, scrolling through prices we can't afford, calling places I didn't want to call, trying to sound calm and collected while my voice was still unsteady. And the whole time, this thought kept running through my head. I cannot recover from my surgery with her in this house. I can't do it. Not after this, not anymore. And that truth hurt. It hurt because it felt like failure. It felt like abandonment. And it hurt because I knew my brother wasn't going to swoop in and help. And the financial burden was going to fall on us again. And I think what hurt the most is because I was doing all of this alone. And while I was researching places for her to stay, she is still making comments, still throwing out little snarky remarks, still poking at the same wounds that had just exploded hours earlier. It was like trying to put out a fire while someone kept flicking matches at your feet. But here's the part I want to say out loud, because I know someone listening needs to hear it. Grounding yourself doesn't mean you're calm. It means you're choosing to keep going even when every part of you is shaking. That afternoon, grounding myself didn't look like meditation or deep breathing or some peaceful moment of clarity. It looked like survival. It looked like sitting at the kitchen table with my head in my hands, whispering, okay, you have to do this, just start. It looked like making phone calls I didn't want to make. It looked like facing numbers that made my stomach drop. It looked like choosing my own healing, even though it felt selfish, even though it felt wrong, even though it felt like I was betraying her. But the truth is, I wasn't betraying her. I was finally protecting myself. I was choosing to make sure I could recover safely, to make sure my body had a chance to heal, and to break a cycle that had been breaking me for years. And if you're listening to this and you've ever had to make a decision like that, a decision that felt impossible, a decision that felt heavy and wrong and necessary all at the same time, I want you to hear this. You're not selfish for needing space. You're not weak for needing help, and you're not a bad daughter or son or spouse or caregiver for choosing your own recovery. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say, I can't do this anymore. That afternoon, I didn't feel brave or strong or grounded. I felt tired, broken, like I was dragging myself forward inch by inch. But I kept going because I had to, because my body needed to, because my future self deserved better than the version of me who was drowning. And that's what episode 8 is really about. The moment you choose yourself, not because it's easy, but because it's the only way to survive. And if you're listening to this, I want to thank you. I know moments like these are not easy, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who've had them. So thank you for being here. Until next time, please take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.